Hi everyone, I'm Nicholas. Today we'll be going through in-depth analysis of Nava Grove. This is also a very interesting analysis because this is in the Pine Grove area and it's the second new launch in the recent times. So for this analysis, we will be closely comparing Nava Grove with Pinetree Hill because Pinetree Hill is a new launch that's recently launched. Still ongoing, there's still sales going, developer is still selling, it's not fully sold out yet. The key difference between Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill is that Nava Grove is a harmonized project, whereas Pinetree Hill is not. Both are GLS, which means they are government land sales, but Pinetree Hill is on the older square footage calculation. Nava Grove wise will be the newer ones where we don't consider strata area like your AC ledgers, and there's no more square footage for like void areas like high ceilings. So we won't see any of those layouts. And in terms of square footage, there is quite a bit of difference because harmonized projects for 2 units of the same size, the harmonized project will have a smaller square footage. Yeah, so in terms of PSF, it tends to be higher because developer cannot price things like aircon ledgers into your purchase price anymore. So bear in mind, we'll be comparing quite a bit between Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill because Pinetree Hill is still selling and it's really just directly beside each other. So let's go straight into it. So this is the artist's impression for Nava Grove. It's very, very beautiful. If you need more of these perspectives, feel free to reach out to me. I'll send you more of these. So location-wise, Nava Grove is in a very interesting location because we are in the RCR region, but very close to Core Central region. So if you know, we are along Ulu Pandan Road. This is Pandan Valley over here, and we are very close to Holland Village, and Holland Village is already Core Central region. So for the units facing over here, you have Clementi Forest. This is your nature view, and behind at the higher floors, you also have the Dover Forest view. So we are in between 2 forests, and that's very, very interesting. The only setback is that we are not near to MRT, but later we'll go and discuss whether near MRT is very significant in terms of your price appreciation potential. But as I mentioned, Pinetree Hill is over here, so this is something that we need to take note because this will be your clear competition in resale times. One of the key selling points for Nava Grove is that we are 1 km to Henry Park Primary School. This is a huge, huge selling point. If you know, in Singapore, proximity to good primary schools can be very, very good in resale times because a lot of families are looking out for these factors when they make their purchase because they want to send their schools into specific good primary schools. They have to stay within 1 km, then they stack with being an alumni of the primary school. Then somehow they will shift based on these choices. So 1 km to Henry Park is a very, very big selling point, and that's something to take note. We are also very close to Holland V MRT. So in general, this location is pretty interesting. We are also very close to Clementi MRT. So beyond us is the outside central region where you have Clementi. Right here, we are City Fringe, but just down the street, we are already at Core Central region. So this is a nice sandwich spot, and it's a very small space where it's considered RCR. Okay, so this is the map of the street directory. So Nava Grove is over here. So behind us, we have Pine Grove. So this is a HUDC project. Has been trying for en bloc for many years, but cannot go through yet. Pinetree Hill is over here. So this is the project that I was mentioning where it's non-harmonized. Pinetree Hill is also by a reputable developer, UOL. Nava Grove also reputable developer, MCL. So both of the building quality should be top-notch. The interesting factor about this is that beyond Pinetree Hill, the newest project will be Trizone over here. And this was, I think, about 2013 TOP. So for the past 11 years, there has been no new condos in this area, which is very interesting because if you want to buy a new condo, you want the new condo to be near Henry Park MRT, there's absolutely zero supply in this location. Plus the fact that, Clementi, Dawson area, you have your $1 million HDB. When they want to upgrade and they want to send their kids close to Henry Park, there has been no supply. They probably would have gone to Pandan Valley or Pine Grove or the other smaller condos over here to make their upgrade in order to send their kids to these primary schools. So the good thing is that we have these 2 additions. It's very, very interesting because this will be a class of its own. So whenever a buyer wants to buy a newer condo because you don't need to renovate so much, these 2 will be the ones to look out for. So this is the view of the Clementi Forest from Nava Grove. So 21st story estimated, this will be the view of the forest. So the whole vibe about Nava Grove is that it's a very tranquil environment. We are not near the hustle and bustle, yet we are in the city fringe, close to nature. If you like all of these factors, and yeah, we are also in a private residential enclave. So these are all major selling points for upgraders and also for people who are used to staying in the Holland, Mount Sinai area. These are factors that people will consider when buying in this location. Okay, so a key question now that you may have is that, wow, Nava Grove is not near MRT. Then how is this a good project to consider? So this is in Redhill. We have two condos to compare, Alex Residence and Principal Gardens. Alex Residence is a 3 minutes walk to Redhill MRT, very, very convenient. Principal Gardens, 70 minutes walk to Redhill MRT. So if given a choice, which one do you think will make more money? Let's go and see the data. So for Alex Residence 3 minutes walk, let's compare the 2-bedroom. Alex Residence 657 square feet over here, and then Principal Garden 797 square feet. We see that Principal Garden was purchased lower PSF 1006 compared to 1007, yet in resale times, Principal Garden actually made 2003 higher than 2001 of Alex Residences. In summary, we look at here, Principal Gardens further away from MRT, they bought at 5% lower than Alex, yet they sold 9.7% higher in PSF than Alex Residence in resale market. So why is this the case? Okay, so if you were to take a look at Alex Residence and Principal Garden, right, the feel is very different. So Alex Residence feels like an apartment, while it's very close to MRT. It feels more like an apartment for expats to stay. So yes, while it's very close to MRT, actually in resale times, people consider the fact how the condo makes them feel. So when you go into Alex Residence, it feels more like an apartment. It does not feel like a full condo facilities where you have a lot of families staying, kids playing, kind of vibe. More like expats. Alex Residence has a lot of expats. Compared to Principal Garden, when you go in, it feels very large, very upclass, loads of facilities, and the whole space feels very vast. So when a potential buyer were to walk around the condo, right, wow, the feeling that they get when they walk is very, very comfortable. I visited before both projects, and Principal Garden truly feels like a class of its own. It's very up class, it's very comfortable. It's somewhere where you can really retreat after a long day and be very comfortable at home. Like, you really look forward to going back home. If you ask me, the entrance is very grand as compared to Alex Residence. So all of these factors are actually key considerations for buyers when they purchase especially in resale times. Because in new launch, sometimes it's a bit difficult for us to imagine, what would be a good choice, because we are not at the actual location. We don't know how the condo makes us feel. Because all we can see is location map on the wall and also a site model in the show flat. So all of these factors cannot really make us feel or give us an idea how it will be like in resale times. But that's why we look at case studies over here to make us understand what are the key considerations buyers do and why do they make these kind of decisions. So my point here is that if you were to purchase a condo like Nava Grove, even though it's not near MRT, but because of the environment that we are in, it's in a tranquil area, low density, private residential area, it feels very good to be home as compared to near MRT where you are near the hustle and bustle. People may eventually prefer not near MRT project, because honestly, people who stay in Mount Sinai area, most of them do drive. They don't really need the proximity to MRT, because we're in the Mount Sinai, Holland area, most of the people actually do drive. So there are other factors other than MRT that is more important when it comes to resale times. So another consideration, another case study that we look at is Sengkang Grand and Riverfront Residences. This is in District 19, Hougang area. Riverfront, not near MRT, very far from MRT. So Riverfront is actually over here. Then Sengkang Grand is an integrated development above Bangkok MRT. So Sengkang Grand was launched in 2019, average PSF 1,750. Riverfront launched 1 year earlier, average PSF 1,003, and that's much more affordable because it's not near MRT. So let's find out which one actually make more money. So Riverfront Residence, those who bought during launch day, 4-bedroom, purchased in 2018, actually made $810,000, and this is a whopping amount. It's very, very big. High floor, 4-bedroom, $810,000. So the higher you are, the more profits you make. By as high as you can, you make more money. Then Sengkang Grand launched 1 year later, but let's look at a transaction that was completed in 2021. and sold in 2023, they only make $217,000. So if they want to make $810,000, they have to sell at what, 3.122 billion? Yeah, and this is an amount that at District 19 so far is not achieved yet because the people cannot accept lah. So let's find out for the same time period, what is the transaction in Riverfront that has been made as well. So date of purchase 2021, date of purchase 2021, this is Q1, sale 2023, June and July. We can see that Sengkang Grand, as we mentioned, $217,000 profits. Riverfront actually made $583,000, and this is a whopping 168% more profits. So once again, as I mentioned, even for District 19, which is a totally different district, we see that far further away from MRT actually can make more money. And why is this the case is because usually developments that are further away from MRT, they are not priced as premium as developments close to MRT. So another way to say it is that those condos that are very near MRT, developers will have put in a very, very huge price premium to factor that proximity to MRT, that convenience. So when you purchase, you will want to pass the premium down to the buyers, but the key thing is whether the next buyer, are they convinced of paying that premium. So in this case, we clearly can see that for Riverfront, because they bought cheaper, it's much easier for them to just simply sell at close to what Sengkang Grand purchased, because this PSF of 1,007 was already accepted in District 19 area. So for them, it's very easy to match the pricing over here and sell at that, and that's a very good gap of $583,000. So there's usually more opportunity for condos not near MRT because you can fill in the price gap and make a very good profit. So let's go straight into Nava Grove and let's look at the basic project information. So as I mentioned, this is developed by MCL Land, and that is a very good developer. They are used to building very renowned projects like Linden Green. Yeah, I think Linden Green was one of the more memorable projects that I know. I went to walk around the area. The whole condo feels very, very up class. Address-wise, 38, 40, 42, 44, Pine Grove. Car park is 80%. And this is also understandable because nowadays most of the new launches are no longer giving one-to-one car park ratio. But of course, if this is important to you, it's one thing to consider. Usually the 3 bedrooms and above, you should be able to get a car park lot because the 2 bedrooms, most of them can be investors and they may not need a car park lot. TOP date 2028, then other than that, it's pretty standard. So let's go through the site plan and unit distribution chart and the unit mix. So this is the site plan for Nava Grove. As I mentioned, Pinetree Hill is over here. The developer has kindly also included Pinetree Hill's site plan, so you can understand that, for example, if you buy this block over here, what is your facing? You are not just facing Nava Grove's facilities, you're also facing Pinetree facilities. The good thing is that Pinetree is also done by UOL, which is a reputable developer. Then you are getting very solid facilities and landscaping for both projects. So regardless whether you're facing Nava Grove or Pinetree, the view of the facilities should be very, very good. Clementi Forest is over here. The next slide, we will see a better understanding of what is the different view. But there are total 3 blocks, high-rise, and they try to maximize the view. One thing to take note is only this block over here is a true north-south block. The rest is tilted a bit to anti-clockwise. Oh, and one key thing over here is that it seems that smaller units tend to have the best views. Why is that the case? It's because, for example, 14, you are a bit blocked by 22 over here, and also vice versa, 22 is a bit blocked by 14. Stack 3 over here is blocked by 20 and 19. So if you want a clear view of, let's say, the Clementi Forest from this block over here, 4 and 5 actually have the best Clementi Forest view for this block. So that's a bit of a setback in my own opinion, but maybe there's no choice because of how they do up the landscaping. So there you have it. For this, what I want to show you is that for different blocks, what's the different views. So as I mentioned, Clementi Forest is over here. So units facing over here do get Clementi Forest view. Block 42 is the closest to Ulu Pandan Road, so that is a main road. So the lower floors may get a bit of the road noise, but the good thing is that we are also elevated. The noise may be minimized, especially if you go on a higher floor. Oh yeah, one thing to take note is that a lot of people do say that noise travel upwards and that higher floors units tend to be noisier. While that is true, I've also read another study that suggests that usually level 10 might be the break-even point where that might be the loudest from ground floor. Why is that the case? If you think about it rationally, if noise truly travel upward, right, then if let's say theoretically there's a 40-level story and you're beside a highway, is the 40-level story going to have the most noise compared to a lower floor that's closer to a highway? So for me, I think the unit on the lower floor may have a significant noise compared to a very, very high floor. So in my opinion, I feel that it's more rational or reasonable to consider there's a normal distribution curve where the peak might be around level 10. So level 10 might be the floor level that get the most noise. If you go very, very high up, the noise might subside at the higher floor. So that's something to take note. If you do get a very high floor in Nava Grove, you not only get a very nice view of the Clementi forest, you also probably get lower noise levels. On the south facing, we are getting, this is Pine Grove, so these are all Pine Grove, but there are lower floors. So if you pass 10 stories, you should get a nicer Dover forest view overseeing Pine Grove. So if let's say you're Block 48 and you're facing this side, then you'll be facing the facilities of Pinetree Hill. So these are generally the few facings that we will be getting in Nava Grove. This is the distribution chart, generally about the same. There's 8 units per floor, and they're all of equal heights. So this is a unit mix for Nava Grove, 2-bedroom all the way to 5-bedroom premium plus private lift. So in this analysis, we'll go straight into the different layouts and compare these layouts with Pinetree Hill to understand whether between the two, which one makes more sense for your purchase. Because if you're watching this video now, then technically, if you like the location, you will definitely be comparing between Pinetree Hill and Nava Grove, and you want to understand which makes a better choice for yourself. So layouts. For the 2-bedroom, this is the smallest 2-bedroom layout in Nava Grove, 624 square feet. So do remember, this is a harmonized project. The AC ledgers, these are non-strata, not counted in your floor areas. So let's take a look at the layout first. When you go in the main entrance, what I like about this is the kitchen is tucked away one side. It's not a kitchenette. Yes, it does not come with a window, but at least it's tucked one side. Dining, you can fit a 4-seater over here outside the master bath. Do note that this is a 2-bed, 1-bath configuration. So 624 square feet is actually on the bigger side. It's understandable because we are in the Pine Grove area, Mount Sinai area, where people generally want bigger sizes. So the master bedroom, as you can see, not only can you fit this is a queen size bed, I believe, with 2 side tables. Bedrooms generally are very big, and the living is also very big. So the dining, if you want to, if you don't mind covering your master bath or your common bath, you can fit a 6-seater over here, and there's still space. So 624 square feet is actually pretty generous. In terms of facing, we are all outwards facing, either facing the Clementi forest or facing Pine Grove. High floors, you will get the Dover forest facing. There are total 92 units, 17% of the supply. So bathroom, once again, has no window, but it's also understandable because it's a small layout. Next, let's compare with the 2-bedroom premium. They are both at 700 square feet. So the 2 premium is just 2-bed, 2-bath. They are both dumbbell layout, which means the bedrooms are all on each side of the living room. Comparing this with the 2 compact is actually quite similar because both floor plans do come with the tucked away kitchen, so that's actually a good thing. Dining can fit a 4-seater, which is also expected for a 2-bedroom. In terms of facing, for the BP1, this is facing Pine Grove. Then for BP2 is on the inner facing, either facing pool or facing Clementi Forest. Both are only at 8% of the entire condo project, so this is on the rarer side. Next, we have the 2+ study, 786 square feet, so this is quite a big 2+ study. But what I like about this floor plan is that the walkway is very short, comparing this with the previous one. Okay but there's a storeroom over here, so this is pretty neat. But if you take a look here, once you open the door, immediately is your kitchen. Your walkway is actually very short. They tuck away the storeroom over here, which might be a better layout. Study, what I like is that it's tucked away in one side, and there's a jack and jill for the bathroom accessible here, and also your bedroom 2. But one key thing to take note, if let's say you do have guests, they are likely to enter your bathroom 2 from here. So your bedroom 2's bathroom 2, they are also kind of an ensuite, which is pretty neat. So you actually get 2 ensuite bedrooms over here. So the 2+ study actually is a very, very good layout, only at 8%, which is also quite rare. Oh yes, in terms of facing, these 2+ study units will have a very good facing, almost fully unblocked off the Clementi forest. Yeah, and because we are much further in, you not only get Clementi forest, you get a bit of the Pinetree Hill facing, and you also will be the furthest block from Ulu Pandan Road, which means you are the quietest. Okay, now we're going to do a very, very exciting analysis over here. So we want to understand and want to predict how the potential launch price would be like for Nava Grove. But the key thing here is that Nava Grove is a harmonized project. So we want to understand in the past how the developers price a harmonized project compared to a non-harmonized. So for this, we take a look at Lentoria versus Lentor Mansion in the Lentor area, because Lentor Mansion was one of the first few harmonized projects. And shortly after Lentoria, which is a non-harmonized project. So this case study is very similar to what we are facing right now. Pinetree Hill non-harmonized launched recently, and Nava Grove harmonized project that's going to launch really soon. Lentoria, over here, let's look at the land price. They purchased 1,130 PSF PPR. Lentor Mansion purchased lower. So the difference is 14.7% compared to Lentor Mansion. However, launch day for the 2-bedroom Lentor Mansion was launched 2,200 compared to Lentoria 2001 during launch day. That's a difference of 7.1%. So total, there is a gap of 21.8% based on Lentor Mansion's price. So similarly, let's compare this to Pinetree Hill and Nava Grove. So assuming there's this gap of 21.8% in Pinetree Hill and Nava Grove for the 2-bedroom, how would the projected pricing be like? So after we do some calculations, we project because Nava Grove was only purchased 7.9% cheaper than Pinetree Hill, we are expecting a launch price that Nava Grove might be coming at 2007 PSF, 2705 over here, for the 2-bedroom in Nava Grove, whereas Pinetree Hill was launched at 2003. Okay, so understanding that, right, we can kind of make a better decision in terms of choosing whether do we go for Pinetree Hill or Nava Grove for the 2-bedroom. So first thing, let's compare the floor plan for both Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill. So let's take note, Nava Grove will be the one that is a bit off-white in color for the floor plan. Pinetree Hill is on the right side with the white color floor plan. In terms of sizes, Nava Grove 624 square feet, Pinetree Hill 700 square feet, which includes the AC latch. But if you take a look, both kitchens are tucked away. I would say pretty similar, except here there's an additional study for Pinetree Hill. Yeah, but estimated pricing, you can't really see properly over here, my bad. I will apologize for that. So if let's say it's launched at 2005 PSF, we are looking at 1.56 million. If it's expected to launch at 2006 PSF, it's expected 1.62 million. 2007 PSF is 1.68 million, roughly. Compared to Pinetree Hill prices, this was transacted about high 1.6 to low 1.7 million. If we do go into Nava Grove purchasing the 2-bed 1-bath layout, you have very significant savings, and that's why we will prefer going for Nava Grove instead of Pinetree Hill, because in resale times, you can potentially still sell cheaper than your Pinetree Hill neighbors. So for 2-bed 2-bath analysis, we will go for Nava Grove also. Why? Because 2-bed 2-bath 700 square feet, Pinetree Hill 700 square feet, but it's a 2-bed 1-bath. Pricing wise is similar for the Pinetree Hill as compared to the previous slide, because it's the exact same layout we are comparing. For Nava Grove, estimated price, if it's 2450 PSF, we are looking at 1.715 million. If it's 2550 PSF, we are estimating 1.785 million. 2650 PSF, estimating 1.855 million. So because of that, the pricing is very close with Pinetree Hill transacted prices, yet you are getting another bathroom in Nava Grove. So because of that, we prefer Nava Grove. Okay, then next will be the 2+ study comparison. 2+ study wise, I would say both of the layout is quite similar. The study tucked in one side, Pinetree Hill study tucked into one side as well. Both kitchens are also tucked in. Pinetree Hill size 797 square feet, non-harmonized. Nava Grove 786 square feet, harmonized. Because of that, we see that the gap between the two sizes is actually very close. So because of this, Pinetree Hill will be preferred because there's not much savings in terms of space due to harmonization. Pinetree Hill also transacted low 2 mils, about 2.0x million. Then estimated launch price for Nava Grove, if they were to launch, let's say 2650, we are looking at 2.0082 million. So because of this, we are not getting a lot of cost savings compared to Pinetree Hill. So because of that, I think Pinetree Hill is a better option. So our top choice for 2-bedroom, if you are buying for investment, go for the 2-bed 1-bath, 624 square feet, because honestly, 1-bath, 2-bath in rental, not much of a difference for the rental. So your rental yield for the 2-bed 1-bath should be better. For own stay, 700 square feet, this is a good size, and also because 700 square feet is a 2-bed 1-bath in Pinetree Hill, you are getting a very bang for the buck in terms of the pricing you are paying. And in resale times, it's also much easier to exit simply because you are the same size as Pinetree Hill, but yet you are 2-bed 2-bath. Okay, one key thing also, there's only 4%, so I think this will be really, really high in demand during launch day. So next, 3-bedroom layout. So similarly, let's compare between Lentoria and Lentor Mansion to find out what is the potential 3-bedroom launch price. So as I mentioned earlier, Lentor Mansion was purchased 985 compared to 1130 in Lentoria, so they were purchased 14.7% cheaper. Yet Lentor Mansion 3-bedroom average launch price day 2002, Lentoria 2060 PSF. Total difference 22.4%, assuming the gap is the same for Lentor Mansion with Pinetree Hill and Nava Grove, since both are harmonized, non-harmonized project. So we assume 22.4% here. How much would Nava Grove be launching at? So Pinetree Hill launched at 2,396, almost 2,004 PSF over here. We are expecting, if the calculation is true, Nava Grove might then launch at close to 2,008 PSF. So 3-bedroom for Nava Grove, 947 square feet. This is the smallest 3-bedroom. Then Stack 13, Stack 20, these are your inwards facing unit and also forward facing, only 8%. So let's look at the layout. So layout come in, not bad, not much wastage of space, although this side maybe you can build in some carpentry to fill in the gap. But one key thing is that, first thing, there's no windows in the bathroom. Kitchen has no windows. And also your AC latch is outside bedroom 3, which means this window is half. This is somewhat like a dumbbell layout, which means for 3-bedroom, if you stand here, technically you can see everything, which means not much of a privacy for this 3-bedroom. So because of this, I don't think it's not as great as a layout. But if you are someone who is looking for like a junior master for 3-bedroom, then your bedroom 3 actually can be considered a junior master because it has direct access to bathroom 2, but it's also accessible by the rest of the family. Yeah, but for me, this is not a very good layout simply because I really like the windows in the kitchen and windows in the bathroom. So the next jump for the 3-bedroom would be the 990 square feet. They're all the same in terms of square footage. Both are also 4% only. For facing wise, this one is facing Pine Grove, Lower Forest. The other one is facing Clementi Forest. In terms of floor plan, the good thing is finally we have the windows in the kitchen, bathroom over here. So this is your naturally ventilated, and that is something that I think resale times everybody will be looking out for. Living dining looks pretty similar. The only key difference is the C3 foyer is smaller compared to this foyer over here. Yeah, so both are generally quite good. It depends whether do you want extra privacy, because this will be more private, since when you open your door over here, your neighbors won't be able to see your living room as compared to this layout over here. If you do open your door, yes, you have something here, the storeroom, to block a bit of the view, but they can see how your unit is like from the outside. So because of that, some people might prefer this. But since they are both 990 square feet, if the extra square footage is here, that means that for this layout, there might be some areas that are bigger than C2. Okay, then now let's compare Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill 3-bedroom. So the most compact 3-bedroom Nava Grove, as you mentioned, 947 square feet. Compared to Pinetree Hill, this is the smallest 3-bedroom in Pinetree Hill, 969 square feet. Just comparing the square footage, you can tell that there's not much of a square footage savings by being a harmonized project for Nava Grove. Average transacted prices for Pinetree Hill is also quite attractive at $2.3 million based on the average transacted PSF and launch prices. So the 3 compact was transacted at $2.3 million, yet for Nava Grove, because it's a harmonized project, we are expecting $2.37 million all the way to $2.56 million for the launch day pricing. So this is 2005 PSF all the way to 2700 PSF. So because of that, since the launch day prices is expected to be much higher than Pinetree Hill prices, then yeah, if Pinetree Hill still has available units, we will recommend going for the Pinetree Hill 3-bedroom compact. But if I remember correctly, Pinetree Hill 3-bedroom sales, the 3 compact sales has been very, very good for the past few weeks. Maybe there may not be any more 3 compact available in Pinetree Hill. That's when the Nava Grove 3-bedroom will start to move. But bear in mind, if you do go for Nava Grove 3 compact, one thing to take note is that your neighbor purchased a significant lower prices than you. In the future, when you want to exit, it might be challenging. Because in terms of floor plan, for Pinetree Hill actually is, I would say, much better. Since your kitchen, you have your windows, bathroom have windows. So comparing this with Nava Grove, yeah, I think the Pinetree Hill floor plan is definitely better. So next, let's compare the C2, C3 with Pinetree Hill 969 square feet of the 3-bedroom. So once again, in terms of prices, for Pinetree Hill transacted $2.32 million. Floor plan wise, I would say they are quite similar. We have your enclosed kitchen, natural ventilated bathrooms, naturally ventilated kitchen, dining can fit a 6-seater. Yet Nava Grove 3-bedroom sizes after harmonized is larger than Pinetree Hill, which means the absolute quantum will be higher. If you are looking at the estimated prices, 2005 PSF, we are looking 2.475 million. Then 2006 PSF, 2.574 million. 2007 PSF is $2.673 million. So these prices are all higher than Pinetree Hill. Therefore, if Pinetree Hill still has available units, definitely go for the Pinetree Hill instead. And if let's say Pinetree Hill 3-bedroom has been fully sold, do bear in mind that your neighbors also bought at a significant discount for a 3-bedroom compact. When you want to exit next time, it might be challenging. Okay, next let's go for the 3 premium in Nava Grove, 1098 square feet. In terms of the facing, we are facing Clementi Forest and also Ulu Pandan Road. Only 4% of the units is in this layout. Okay, so the key difference for this floor plan, let's go through the floor plan, is that, okay, we open the door, you do get a nice foyer over here that gives you the privacy with a dry kitchen and wet kitchen. And we have a WC over here and a home shelter. So this is clearly a very solid 3-bedroom premium layout that's clearly different from the 3 compact. Windows in the kitchen, windows in the bathrooms, that's also expected. Dining is of the vertical orientation, so 6-seater is placed this way. Let's compare with the other 3 premium in Nava Grove. So we have 1109 square feet. They're all 1109 square feet in fact. And the key difference maybe is in terms of the facing and the foyer. So really, the difference is just in the foyer over here. But the good thing is all of them do give a bit of a block view from your living, so that when you open the door, there's more privacy. All same square feet, really, I think it's just which facing do you prefer. And they're all just 4%, which means it's only 1 stack. One thing to take note for CP3 here is also this additional thing that is jutting out. This might block a bit of your view, and also potentially because your neighbor has a longer balcony or a protruded balcony compared to yours. So let's compare Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill floor plan for the 3 premium. So for Nava Grove, 1098 square feet, 1109 square feet, the good thing is that it's significantly smaller than Pinetree Hill 1216 square feet. So Pinetree Hill 3 premium is really very big at 1216 square feet. So because of that, Pinetree Hill average transacted price for 3 premium, $2.9 million over here. Comparing to the launch price of Nava Grove, we are looking at 2.7 million all the way to 2.9 million over here. Because of that, Nava Grove, we'll be expecting a significant savings for the tree premium compared to Pinetree Hill. So if you're looking for a tree premium, definitely go for Nava Grove. Yeah, so this is the opportunity where Nava Grove is definitely preferred, be it in launch day or also resale times, because of the significant difference in the square footage. Because in terms of floor plan, well, Pinetree Hill, you have a home shelter. They don't have a dry kitchen for Pinetree Hill, but the kitchen is of a very, very good size. Then they have a yard. WC is also given. Yeah, so generally I would say quite similar, just that Pinetree Hill, there's an additional study over here lah. Yeah, of course, if that is important to you, Pinetree Hill may be more interesting, but the setback for Pinetree Hill is that the square footage, the size of the tree premium is too close to the 4-bedroom. That's why the quantum is too close to a 4. The tree premium would have a lot of difficulty moving for Pinetree Hill. But having said that, that is why Nava Grove tree premium is a very attractive layout and size, and that's why entry prices for the tree premium in Nava Grove is going to be very attractive. So our top choice for the tree premium is the 1109 square feet CP3. Why is that? Is because this is less premium facing, and developers tend to have loading premium for different facing. So for 1098 square feet, they are actually having the more premium view of the forest. So they are likely going to be at almost $2.8 million. Compared to us, this CP3 is further in. We are looking at 2005 PSF. The only difference is 27K. So because of this small difference, why not just go for the bigger size? Additional 27K, you can have a bigger 3-bedroom premium, and that's why we are looking at CP3. Next, 4-bedroom layout. Similarly, let's look at the estimated launch day pricing. I will not go through the whole calculation. By now, I think you will understand how we derive the figures over here and here. So for 4-bedroom, we are expecting possibly a launch price of 2007 PSF. And let's take a look. So for 4-bedroom floor plan, similarly, you have a foyer over at the entrance. The only difference is that the foyer is different. D2 would have a nicer foyer that's more tucked aside, so that you have more privacy if that is very important to you. For the dining, 8-seater, also vertical. This is similar to Lentor Mansion if you are familiar. Then other than that, I would say both of the 4-bedroom floor plan is quite similar. The nice thing about the floor plan for the 4-bedroom is that the bathroom 2 is a Jack and Jill for both bedroom 3 and bedroom 2, and exclusively for them. Because if you have guests coming over, they'll be using bathroom 3 over here, which is shared with bedroom 4. So bathroom 2 is really like a private bathroom just for bedroom 2 and 3. Overall, pretty nice floor plan. Nothing much to complain. I would say the whole floor plan is quite efficiently planned. Compare the 4-bedroom for Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill. There's a lot of difference. So first thing is we do get the Jack and Jill bathroom 2, as I mentioned over here. Based on the estimated PSF, just now we mentioned it was 2007 over here. If developer were to launch at 2526 PSF, then we are expecting a launch price from 3.3 all the way to $3.6 million for the 4-bedroom. But let's look at the floor plan for Pinetree Hill. Pinetree Hill, the interesting thing is that non-harmonized, smaller square feet than Nava Grove. Yet Pinetree Hill can give you this landscape living dining, which is one of my personal favorite because there's a lot of ambient lighting entering in, lots of ventilation. If you get the nice Clementi forest facing or nice view, when you come in, immediately you're greeted by that, and you have a private lift, which is also a great selling point because people buying at this quantum, private lift will be a nice bonus. So because of that, we'll definitely prefer Pinetree Hill, simply because in terms of pricing, Pinetree Hill level 2 still available. It's only going for $3.18 million. Yet Nava Grove, we are looking for them to launch at between 3.34 all the way to 3.61 million. So because of that, Pinetree Hill is a no-brainer because floor plan is better, it's going to be cheaper. Nava Grove has a very interesting 4-bedroom dual key layout. So let's go through the floor plan first. So there's a foyer coming in, then there's going to be 2 doors over here. So how dual key works is that You have a main door, you enter, you have a foyer, you got 2 more doors to lead to 2 separate units. And then over here, you have your 3-bedroom, which is quite similar to what we saw in the 3 premium earlier, just that you have additional study over here. Then the bedroom 4 here, this is like a studio unit, which is self-contained. You have your own bath, you have your own kitchenette, your wardrobe, you still have a small study desk over here. And a balcony, which I think is important when tenant wants to rent a condo. Usually for the dual key, they will prefer balcony also. However, one key thing to take note is that in this area, we do not expect families to really want to buy a 4-bedroom dual key unit, because dual key came about when ABSD was introduced. So last time, many people wanted to own multiple properties because you want to have own stay, you want to rent out certain units. Dual key offers you the option of buying just one single unit, own stay the bigger part, and then you rent out the smaller studio for passive income to help you offset your mortgage. So the idea sounds very attractive. However, in resale times, we need to understand in this location, who are the people buying and whether it's that important to them. So in the Mount Sinai, Pine Grove area, these are your up-class, RCR, close to Holland area. Really, in resale times, we don't think the 4-bedroom dual key will be a very attractive layout for people, because they are not going to rent out a studio just to offset the mortgage, because they really want a good size 4-bedroom for own stay. So comparing the dual key and a normal 4-bedroom, the normal 4-bedroom will definitely be much higher in demand. So 1,004 square feet dual key, we don't think it will be very attractive. So if you do consider to buy, while it can help you offset a mortgage when you stay, when you do want to sell, it should be quite challenging. So that's something for you to take note. Okay, so comparing the dual key and the Pinetree Hill, in square foot, it's actually similar. Pinetree Hill, 1,004 square feet. Nava Grove, after harmonized, 1,004 square feet. But bear in mind, Nava Grove, there's quite a bit of wastage in area over here. Your foyer is very long because it has to be for the dual key to work. Pinetree Hill, on the other hand, you get your landscape living dining, which is very much preferred. You have a nice view, lots of ambient lighting, lots of natural ventilation. Kitchen, I really love this because it's very wide. When you're not using the kitchen, you open the door, the kitchen becomes part of your living and dining, then the whole area is much bigger. And really, Pinetree Hill floor plan, it has everything. It has even a private lift for you. Pinetree Hill, still available, 1105 over here, asking 3.782 million. Compared with Nava Grove, based on 2005 PSF, we are going for 3.66 million. 2007 PSF, 3.95 million. So we don't think that Nava Grove is quite worth it. Simply because if you buy, when you want to sell, people will come and compare between Pinetree and Nava Grove. And like I mentioned earlier, the people who are buying in this location, this locale, they will definitely be going for own stay, 4-bedroom, big floor plate. And Pinetree Hill will be something that they are definitely looking out for compared to Nava Grove 4-bedroom dual key. So 4-bedroom private lift, we finally have this in Nava Grove. So let's take a walkthrough of this floor plan. So home shelter over here, this is the service door. So why do you need a service door for units with private lift? Is because sometimes you have your GrabFood delivery, other forms of delivery like Shopee, Lazada, they'll be coming via your service door instead of your private lift, because private lift is usually used by yourself, the residents, and your guests. So the service door is to facilitate you to have all these deliveries. We have a wet kitchen, yard, dry kitchen, dining. So actually the living dining area is very generous, very big. You have the wide frontage that just now I mentioned that Pinetree Hill has. Then it has a private lift lobby over here. The master is massive. If you see over here, this is very long. It can even fit a good size dressing table or study table if you want. Walk-in wardrobes on both sides. And then the master bath, neat thing is that you have 2 basins for the his and her, so that when you want to go out during the rush hours, you don't need to fight over the sinks. So overall, a pretty good floor plan, 1,550 square feet, very big floor plate, well suited for this location also, because people will be looking out for big floor plates in this area. Then for the difference between DP1 and DP2, honestly, not much. It's just mirror image, and then the home shelter is of a different orientation. Storeroom also different orientation. Other than that, I would say pretty similar. Facing wise, They are both on the inwards facing. So DP2, you do get a pool facing, but like I mentioned earlier during the site plan analysis, this will be a bit blocked by your neighbor over here because if you see forward, this unit is over here, so it'll be blocked by a bit. DP1, similarly, you get a pool view, but it's also a bit blocked by this block over here. So that's something to take note. So comparing Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill, well, the wet kitchen of Nava Grove will be a bit darker than Pinetree Hill because Pinetree Hill, the kitchen is an open concept with sliding doors. It has an island table over here, and this is a very attractive floor plan because it's just very inviting. When you're not using the kitchen, you can open and suddenly your living, dining, and kitchen is one big location, and it's just a very, very comfortable layout to be in. Another key thing to take note is that for the private lift lobby for Nava Grove, there's no window. So this, I would say, is a bit of a setback. Why? Because Pinetree Hill, there is a window over here. And why is the window important? Because when you come back from outside, you come back or you want to head out, the window allows ambient lighting to come in. It's more inviting. And also, usually we'll place our shoes at the foyer over there. The window acts as a natural ventilation so that there is no smell, because shoes usually will have some smell. So the window over here is actually quite strategic. I think in resale times, we will see quite a bit of value for the window over there. So because of that, floor plan-wise, once again, Pinetree Hill, 1,004 square feet, smaller in size than Nava Grove, non-harmonized. Pricing, 1105, as I mentioned earlier, 3.782 million only. Nava Grove, on the other hand, even at 2005 PSF, is going for 3.88 million. And if let's say they really launch at 2007 PSF, it's going for 4.2 million. This is significantly higher than Pinetree Hill. Because of that, if you're watching this video and you're considering for 4 premium, definitely go for Pinetree Hill because floor plan wise is better over there. 5-bedroom layout. Okay, so the 5-bedroom is massive, 1,722 square feet, and this is really quite big. So it's maybe close to 1,008 or up almost 1,009 square feet for non-harmonized. Let's go through the floor plan first. So come in, this is a service door, bomb shelter over here, storm over here. There's a wet and dry kitchen. Yard WC. WC does not come with windows, something to take note. Private lift lobby. So once again, the private lift does not come with the window, so there's no window over here. 5 bedrooms. This is your junior master. Bathroom 3 is solely used by bedroom 4, which is nice. Living and dining is really, really very big. Yeah, because this could be your conventional sofa and dining set over here for your other 4-bedroom condos in other condos. So the fact that they make such a big living and dining, this will be perfect for families for own stay, or if you are a big family wants to host regularly, this is a very inviting layout. Other than that, all the bedrooms, bathroom 2 once again is solely used by bedroom 2 and 3. Then guests will just need to use the powder room. So guests will only use the powder room for the 5-bedroom. All the common baths are actually exclusive for the units. So good and bad, I mean, since guests usually don't need to bathe, there's actually no need for the common bath to be accessible by the rest of the people. So I think this is also a good trade. Master bedroom is very long, as you can see, can fit a good size dressing table or a study, walk-in wardrobe on both sides. Master bath comes with his and her once again. So yeah, floor plan generally quite nice. Only 4%, 23 units. So this is the inward facing, and this unit is quite blocked, stack 3, because facing here, you'll be blocked by all these units over here. So that's something to take note. Okay, comparing 5-bedroom Nava Grove and Pinetree Hill. So Pinetree Hill, floor plan wise, they are quite similar to the 4-bedroom where the kitchen is a rectangular or a square. And if you don't need to use the kitchen can be a seen part of the living and dining. So the landscape, living, dining, possibly might be longer than the living frontage of Nava Grove. For the master bedroom, there's a difference in terms of the layout also because it comes with a bathtub. If that's important to you, that's something to take note. His and her sinks are available. Walk-in wardrobe is also given, but this is an L-shaped walk-in wardrobe for Pinetree Hill. Other than that, as mentioned, the foyer for the private lift for Pinetree Hill does come with a window. Nava Grove does not. Pinetree Hill, 5-bedroom, level 2, asking 4.318, only at 2492 PSF. Nava Grove, let's say if they were to launch 25 PSF, is easily 4.305 million. So because of that, we believe go for Pinetree Hill, because Pinetree Hill and Nava Grove, size-wise, not much of a difference, harmonized, non-harmonized. So there's no significant cost savings if you were to go for Nava Grove. So I've come to the end of Nava Grove analysis. One key thing to take note is that Nava Grove, as I mentioned throughout the entire presentation, is that it's a harmonized project. What are the key considerations for a harmonized project is that when you want to sell in the future, your potential buyer may not know what does harmonized mean, and they may simply discount the fact that on the floor plan, on Property Guru listing, for example, your square footage is smaller, so therefore it's not quite as worth as a non-harmonized project. And they may totally rule out and not view your unit simply because they do not know that what is harmonization. So in resale times, harmonized projects for this first wave of harmonized projects might face certain challenges. Yeah, but after some time, the market may react and may accept what is a harmonized project, but it may take some time. So Nava Grove will always be a close competitor with Pinetree Hill. And so that's why this analysis is here, because we want to share with you, depending on which floor plan, which bedroom type, it may be better for you to go for Pinetree Hill rather than for Nava Grove. But some of the layouts, like the 2-bedroom and the 3 premium, Nava Grove is definitely a better choice compared to Pinetree Hill. So we hope this analysis can give you a better picture of what kind of floor plans, what kind of bedroom type to choose to go for in Nava Grove and which ones to avoid. And we hope you have greatly benefit from it. If you are looking to view Nava Grove, please feel free to drop me a text. I'll put my contact details below. No obligation at all. And I'll see you in the next one.